She's very smart, and she's always helping everybody but herself. She really was a homebody and a good mom.
Deputy Sean Grayson showing up at Massey's door after she called 911 to report a prowler.
What do you need help with?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if I could help me.
Throughout the 6-minute encounter, Massey struggling to answer questions. Her family saying she had recently been experiencing mental illness.
What is in the water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot!
Sonya Massey, a black woman, tragically lost her life in a recent incident involving a deputy officer. But now, her son is coming forward with startling revelations, claiming that her demise was not just a mere accident, but a setup. Stay tuned as we unpack the latest developments and explore the explosive accusations that could change everything we thought we knew about this case. But of course, before we go any further, make sure first that you subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell for more updates and videos like this. Now let's get going. Sonya Massey just wanted to make a better life for herself and her 2 kids. Her uncle Raymond Massey says she had even bought a new house and was excited about the future. But everything took a terrible turn on July 6th. The 36-year-old mother from Springfield, Illinois, who was unarmed, was shot by a sheriff's deputy after she called 911 because she thought someone was breaking into her home. Since that tragic day, Sonya Massey's story has gone viral. Her family, including her 17-year-old son Malachi and 15-year-old daughter Summer, are now trying to come to terms with losing their mom. Raymond described Sonya as loving and caring, and her sudden loss has left a huge void in their lives. They're taking it a day at a time, Raymond, 64, tells People. I mean, a minute at a time. It's devastating to me, let alone Sonya's mother, Donna, and Summer and Malachi.
It's a ball of love, honestly, to me. She cooked me the best food. I love her food. She was just a ball of energy.
Not real. This can't be real. I don't know how this could be real. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
He goes on. The pain runs so deep. Every family member is feeling it, but it's especially tough on the kids. Raymond mentions that he's been talking with the children, who are staying with other relatives right now. He shares, I had a really heartfelt conversation with Malachi about his mom and how much he misses her. It's incredibly hard for anyone, especially a 17-year-old who loved and cared for his mom. The Illinois State Police released a body cam footage of a police officer shooting a black woman inside her own home, and it's causing a lot of outrage across the country. Sonya Massey had called the police because she thought someone was lurking outside her house. In the video, you can see 2 officers coming into her home to tell her they didn't find anything unusual. But things took a turn for the worse when Massey walked over to her stove to check on a pot of boiling water. Here's what to know about the case and the events surrounding Massey's demise. What happened on July 6th? Around 12:50 a.m., 2 Sangamon County Sheriff deputies arrived to check out a call at Massey's home. In the video, you can see the deputies looking around the area before knocking on Massey's door to talk with her. After knocking on her door, the video reveals her difficulty in responding to some of the questions. When asked, "Are you doing all right, mentally?" she replies, "Yes, I took my medicine." According to reports, Massey's family confirmed she has been diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia. Court documents filed by prosecutors said Massey appeared to be calm, possibly unwell, and non-aggressive.
Help with?
Nothing. I just wanted to see if I could help me.
Throughout the 6-minute encounter, Massey struggling to answer questions. Her family saying she had recently been experiencing mental illness.
What is your last name?
Uh,
Shouldn't have to think about your last name.
When she asked,
While one deputy kept searching outside, Deputy Sean P. Grayson went inside Sonya's house, followed by the other officer. In the video, you can see both officers talking with Massey inside. They ask her for her ID and notice a pot of boiling water on the stove. This makes Massey get up and head to the kitchen to turn off the heat. "We don't need a fire while we're here. one deputy says. None of them seems to have any problem with her going over to the pot. When she grabs the pot of boiling water, they start moving away from her. She asks them where are they going. Away from your hot, steaming water, one officer says. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, she answers. Huh? The deputy says. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, she repeats. You better F not, or I swear I'll effing shoot you in the effing face, Grayson tells her. He then pulls out his 9mm pistol and aims it at her. She ducks behind the kitchen counter and says, I'm sorry. Both officers are seen yelling at her, drop the effing pot. And Grayson takes at least 2 steps towards her as she tries to move.
Away from your hot steaming water.
Away from my hot steaming water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
I
rebuke you in the name of
You better not. I swear to God, I'll shoot you right in your face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the pot! Drop the pot! Drop the
19 shots fired,
shots fired!
According to a news release from Sangamon County, at around 1:21 a.m., Grayson fired his weapon and hit Massey 3 times, including a fatal shot to her head. You can hear him reporting the incident over the radio. His partner then says they should go get a medical kit and try to help her. She's done. You can go get it. But that's a headshot, Grayson responds. Explaining himself to the responding police, Grayson says, she had boiling water and she came at me with boiling water. His partner grabs a towel and leans down towards Massey. She's still gasping a little bit, he notes. Later, Grayson spoke to a group of law enforcement officers outside. Yeah, I'm good, he said on the body cam footage. This having B is crazy. At 1:47 a.m., just 26 minutes after the incident, Massey was brought to the emergency room at HSHS St. John's Hospital, where she was declared lifeless. The autopsy report shows that the bullet entered through the lower part of her left eyelid and exited through the back of her neck. Massey was 36 years old.
No, she had boiling water and came at me with boiling water.
You shot her?
Yeah. She said she was going to rebuke me in the name of Jesus and came at me with boiling water.
According to the autopsy,
Massey's family held a press conference in Springfield, Illinois after the autopsy report was released. Sonya meant the world to me. I loved her so much. This tragedy has been so much on my family. Her kids, her daughter cannot sleep at night. Shada Massey, Sonya Massey's cousin, said, this is the hardest thing that we have ever been through as a Massey. It just breaks my heart that our family has to go through this. She is the only family member that me and my wife was talking last night about. I've never once seen her angry or mad. Raymond Massey, Sonya Massey's uncle, said, she was always full of love, and she loved her kids and God. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who was representing Massey's family, said that the autopsy report is further evidence that the shooting was unjust. The autopsy confirmed what everybody already knew with the video. Crump said at the press conference that this was just senseless and unnecessary excessive use of force. Completely unnecessary, certainly not justified. Sean Grayson, the ex-Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy who shot Massey, was fired and faces charges of first-degree M, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. He has pleaded not guilty. Now Massey's 17-year-old son Malachi has to face life without his mother. The first night I don't go to my mother's house, this happens. Malachi Massey, Sonya Massey's son, said at the press conference. How? Why? And I wonder if I was there if he would have done anything to me. He said his mom was a ball of energy, who always reminded him to read his Bible. She's the person who taught me how to love, Malachi told CNN. The teen said he's so grief-stricken by his mother's demise that he can't describe the pain. I really don't have words, he said. I feel sick. Massey's son said he wants Grayson locked up behind bars for as long as possible. He had no regard for my mom, Malachi said, so we need to have no regard for him. Where did this shooting take place? The shooting happened in Springfield, which is about 200 miles, 322 kilometers from Chicago. Springfield has a history of racial maltreatment. According to a Guardian report, Massey passed away at the same hospital where her ancestor, William Donegan, passed away. Donegan was lynched during the 1908 Springfield race riot, an event that led to the creation of the NAACP. Who was the police officer who shot Sonya Massey? According to a report by the Associated Press, Grayson is a 30-year-old white officer. His career includes short stints as a part-time officer in 3 small departments and a full-time job in another department, as well as full-time roles at 2 sheriff's offices, all in central Illinois. According to a CNN report, Grayson changed jobs 6 times since 2020, but the reason for his frequent moves aren't clear. After the incident, he pleaded not guilty to first-degree M and was fired by the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. It is clear that the deputy did not act as trained or in accordance with our standards, the Sheriff's Office said. For Massey's case, he was charged with 3 counts of first-degree M, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct. If convicted, he could face up to 45 years in prison for the criminal charges. However, it's unusual for officers to be prosecuted and convicted. All it takes is one person on a jury to believe an officer who says, "Look, you weren't there. You don't know how much danger I felt while I was there, and therefore I feared for my life, and that's why I shot." So that's why many do get off even if they are prosecuted in the first place. Al Jazeera's Sheba Ratsani said, reporting from Washington, D.C. On July 17th, Grayson, 30, who was formerly charged with first-degree M, aggravated battery with a firearm, and official misconduct, according to Sangamon County State's Attorney John Milhiser, as reported by CNN, the Illinois Times, and NPR Illinois. Grayson has pleaded not guilty and is currently being held without bond at the Menard County Detention Facility, as noted by the Washington Post. He's also been fired from the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office. Sonya's father, James Wilburn, recently talked to CBS Mornings. He mentioned that the family was never told it was a police shooting and believed that she was killed by the intruder and that police had simply found her lifeless. He also said they were misled into thinking she had passed away from self-inflicted wounds. When Raymond saw the body camera footage and found out how his niece had passed away, he felt anger and frustration for the whole family. "We should be comforted after this situation," he tells People. And then you hear misinformation and lies, and it's hurtful.
Energy, like a ball of energy. She could talk to anybody, you know. She's just the most loving person ever.
Does it feel like she's gone?
No. This is feeling surreal to me right now.
After the charges against Grayson were announced, the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office condemned his actions, stating they do not reflect the values and training of the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office or law enforcement as a whole. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump, who is representing the Massey family, told People that they want Sonya's legacy to help push for systematic police reform in America. "It hurts me to see my family hurting so bad." Raymond tells People, "We want to stop hurting, and we don't want another family to ever go through this again." People confirms that the Massey family has set up a verified GoFundMe campaign to cover expenses like mental health counseling, travel, and other costs after her demise. On the fundraising page, she's remembered as a devoted church member and a mother who loved cooking, doing hair, taking care of her kids, and spending time with her family. Before working in law enforcement, Grayson pleaded guilty to 2 DUIs. Court records show he was charged with DUIs in Macoupin County, Illinois, one in 2015 and another in 2016. The first one happened in August 2015. Grayson's car was impounded, and he ended up paying over $1,320 in fines after pleading guilty. In July 2016, Grayson was charged with another DUI. He pleaded guilty and paid over $2,400 in fines. When he applied to be an officer at the Auburn Police Department in Illinois in 2021, he acknowledged his DUI charges. He worked there from July 2021 to May 2022. And CNN's review of his records show no major problems or disciplinary issues. In May 2022, Grayson began working at the Logan County Sheriff's Office in Illinois. He wrote a brief letter to the sheriff explaining his terrible decision to drink and drive. In the letter, he also mentioned that he lost his driving privileges for a year after pleading guilty to his second DUI in 2016. One agency suggested he take high-stress decision-making classes. Grayson worked at 6 law enforcement agencies in Illinois since 2020. He began part-time with the Pawnee Police in August 2020, then moved to the Kincaid and Verdon Police Departments. After that, he worked full-time with Auburn Police, the Logan County Sheriff's Office, and finally the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office, where he started in May 2023. Looking at his records from the Auburn Police Department, we see why Grayson said he left his previous jobs. Sometimes he wanted full-time work but only got part-time hours, and in other cases, he didn't want to move. While he didn't seem to have any disciplinary issues at Auburn, the Logan County Sheriff's Office recommended he take high-stress decision-making classes after he didn't slow down when his boss ended a vehicle chase. He was driving around 110 miles per hour when he hit a deer. according to the records. Deputy Grayson pursued the truck through Lincoln at a high rate of speed, reaching speeds of 63 in a 30-mile-per-hour zone, and in my opinion failed to show due caution while driving through stop intersections, a Logan County chief deputy wrote in the file. Grayson's supervisor terminated the pursuit, and Grayson turned off his emergency lights, the report states. But Grayson continued at a high rate of speed, 110 in a 55-mile-per-hour zone, prior to striking the deer. Deputy Grayson acknowledged he lacks experience, the report said. It also listed a series of recommendations, including additional traffic stop training, report writing training, high-stress decision-making classes, and needs to read, understand, and discuss issued Logan County Sheriff's Office policy. It wasn't clear if Grayson followed those recommendations. He resigned from the Logan County Sheriff's Office in April 2023 and joined the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office the next month. That's where he would later have the fatal encounter with Massey. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell fired Grayson shortly after Massey's demise.
Lupus and stuff like that. So I would never think she would pass from anything like this. I would think it was from that, but she would always tell me that if she did pass, just be strong. That's all I could do for her.
It's not real. This can't be real. No.
Sonya Massey lost her life due to an unjustifiable and reckless decision by former Deputy Sean Grayson, Campbell said in a statement. Grayson had other options available that he should have used. His actions were inexcusable and do not reflect the values or training of our office. With this new issue of harsh mistreatment against a black individual, people's outrage has been ignited once again since the George Floyd incident in 2020. The lingering questions in everyone's mind: has anything improved since the killing of George Floyd?
Witnesses begin filming almost simultaneously. The footage from the first witness shows us that all 4 officers are now gathered around Floyd. It's the first moment when we can clearly see that Floyd is face down on the ground, with 3 officers applying pressure to his neck, torso, and legs. At 8:20 p.m., we hear Floyd's voice for the first time.
It's been 4 years since Minneapolis police handcuffed George Floyd, pinned him face down on the street, and choked him to death. Floyd, 46, was being arrested for allegedly trying to use a fake bill at a local store. On May 25, 2020, a white police officer kneeled on his neck for 9.5 minutes, cutting off his air while he cried, "I can't breathe."
I can't breathe, man. Please.
The video stops when Lane appears to tell the person filming to walk away. The officers radio a code 2, a call for non-emergency medical assistance, reporting an injury to Floyd's mouth.
The incident, caught on video by a bystander, led to global protests with hundreds of thousands of people, shaking U.S. politics and helping Joe Biden become president. As of July 23rd, police have killed 722 civilians this year, with black Americans being 3 times more likely to be victims than white people, according to Mapping Police Violence database. Experts say more significant reform is needed. Prosecuting police officers sometimes can be very dangerous for the prosecutor politically. J. Wendell Gordon, a civil rights lawyer from Baltimore, told Al Jazeera, "The law really coddles police officers in the performance of their duties. It's a dangerous job, no doubt, but our law should not protect officers like Mr. Grayson," Gordon said. He added that new reforms are required as the population needs protections that allow police officers to be held accountable for the wrong that they do. So they'll have skin in the game and think twice before they decide whether or not it's necessary to pull a trigger on a woman who's begging for her life, and you have plenty of cover, and your life is not being endangered in any shape, form, or fashion, he added. What have been the reactions? President Joe Biden issued a statement calling Massey a beloved mother, friend, daughter, and young black woman who should be alive today. Sonya called the police because she was concerned about a potential intruder. When we call for help, all of us as Americans, regardless of who we are or where we live, should be able to do so without fearing for our lives. Sonya's demise at the hands of a responding officer reminds us that all too often black Americans face fears for their safety in ways many of the rest of us do not, the U.S. president said. Sonya Massey deserved to be safe, Vice President Kamala Harris said. After she called the police for help, she was tragically killed in her own home at the hands of a responding officer sworn to protect and serve. Illinois Attorney General Kwame Rowell said in a statement that the footage was horrific and offered his sympathy to Massey's family. As the community reacts to the release of the footage, I urge calm as this matter works its way through the criminal justice system, he added. The body-worn camera footage has now been released, and the public can see what we saw. Sonya Massey lost her life due to an unjustifiable and reckless decision by former Deputy Sean Grayson. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell said, Grayson had other options available that he should have used. His actions were inexcusable and do not reflect the values or training of our office. But what do you feel about all this? Feel free to share your perspective in the comments below. That's all for today. We hope you enjoyed that video, and if you did, make sure to hit like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more videos like this.